What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? What's up, Pure T? What's up, G Sawyer? What's up, Tasha? What's up, Zaleen? What's up, Tanya? Hello, everybody. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Y'all already know what it is. Yesterday, we did a lot of reading. Well, I did the reading, but y'all listened to me struggle read, right? So I didn't really give enough of my opinion. So I kind of wanted to go ahead, just let it sit for a minute and kind of take all in everything that we heard from yesterday from reading the lawsuit. And I'm not sold that Tyler Perry is this predator or that he's this bad guy. I still have a few more questions. I think honestly, what's going on here is that an opportunity for this show did not happen. Talking about Derek Dixon, this losing it. Remember the show that was supposed to come out? I feel that this was his thing. Like, hey, the show didn't come out, so now I'm pissed, and now I'm gonna try to extort you for some money. Now, I did say I do believe that there might have been some conversation or something that had went down with them, you know, as far as did they do the 1-2 step in the bedroom? Possibly, right? Possibly he was a boy toy and Tyler Perry led him on and everything like that. And then when he didn't get his show, he got pissed. The same thing I believe with Christian Keys, because Christian Keys was talking about how this guy kept effing with him for years and that he didn't say a name. Let's paraphrase. He didn't say a name, but I mean, who else was he talking about? We know it was Tyler. Anyway, so when it was put out there that he received hush money to shut up, then, you know, Christian Keys, he deleted all the videos, all references about the situation. He's on mute. He doing the Beyonce mute challenge. He mute. We ain't heard nothing from him. And mind you, and I want to play it because Christian Keys actually said in the video, he waited for the statutes of limitations to run out. He waited for that. So this was almost like his thing, like, yeah, I'm going to put your ass on blast. But why didn't you do it? Why did you go mute? Why did you go silent? Now, at the time, this was around the whole Cassie situation. So a lot of people were saying, you're victim shaming. Look what you're doing. You're victim shaming him. This is why people don't come out and say anything, because you guys like to put people on blast and you don't believe victims. Well, again, he released a video where he told us that this person has been effing with him for years, been doing sneaky stuff, came to his house, wanted to see him naked, try to gift him cars and all this other stuff, and opportunities to work for him. But yet he went ghost. He went silent. He pretends like this never happened. So everybody tried to paint Christian Keys as this spokesperson for victims, and he was never that. Because when allegedly he got him a check, went quiet, went mute. Have we heard from Christian Keys since he spoke out in December 2023? It was December 18th, 2023 to be exact. Have we heard from Christian Keys since then? No? Oh, okay. Yeah. So again, with that being said, don't forget that he's listed in the lawsuit. He's not a defendant or a co-conspirator or anything like that. He's listed in the lawsuit because the guy is basically saying, like, well, yeah, this stuff happened to me, specifically about him hopping in the bed and stuff like that. So they kind of used the Christian Keys situation to be able to paint the narrative. And so with that being said, we're always going to look at Christian Keys whenever Tyler Perry is accused of anything. We're always going to look at him because Christian Keys was the first to really put Tyler Perry on blast. I mean, there's been people saying stuff about Tyler Perry for years, but Christian Keys was the one where we know, okay, he's worked with Tyler Perry a whole bunch of times. Like, we know that, okay, more than likely it's him. Because it wouldn't be Diddy, it wouldn't be Magic Johnson, LeBron, because billionaires, right? Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Byron Allen. It's another black billionaire that I can't think of, but it wouldn't have been that person either, because they work in like finance, so it wouldn't have been them. So again, with that being said, it only left a few options, and Tyler Perry was what we all draw conclusions from, right? Nobody's confused about that. We all thought Tyler. Okay, so I want to go ahead and bring up Christian's video because I want to compare some things that he was saying versus now what Derek Dixon is saying.
But I think it's time.
I think the volume is kind of low. Hold on.
I want to, and I know, P, I know you're on here. I want to say everything now.
I'm going to speed it up a little bit.
And I have proof. It's not like I'm just making false accusations. I intentionally let the statute of limitations expire.
Intentionally.
It's not about money, but I'm going to have to take the receipts, the recordings down to the police department and let them hear this individual. I wasn't working for him in the month and the year that he showed up to my apartment and offered me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I declined because, again, scenic group, I got my integrity with me. I'll take the long way around. But being that I wasn't working with him and we were in my apartment, he had visited my apartment to offer me a job of this fall because the lead of this particular project was going to do something else. So he needed another lead. I recorded it because I didn't trust him. And I told him over and over. And he still always tried shit. Just tried shit. Mm-hmm. So if people don't believe me, they can hear him in his voice. I have always kept something on me. Always. Even if my phone is off. Something else is, if I'm around somebody that has tried to sexually harass me, pressure me, intimidate me into some nonsense, I've always kept something on me so I can protect myself, because if they're that powerful and they feel that entitled, then they can also try to get in the way of your work.
Let me tell y'all, I know this is a serious situation. I don't want people to think like the allegations aren't serious, but yo, when he said 100K, listen, just hearing that 100K almost made me strip off my clothes right now. Y'all would have seen me bucket naked right now, just like Shawnee said. 1K just to be naked and he ain't got a shit. I would have hopped on that. Wait, pause. Crazy. Let's continue.
I want to speak on it. I also want to keep making great things and creating jobs and opportunities. But, oh no, I got backups for the backups for the backups for the backups. I've watched way too many Jason Bourne movies not to have 15 backups. I can press play and you can hear the person and you'll know immediately who the person is that's offering me $100,000 to strip. You'll know right away and it'll break your heart. I won't have to say the person's name, but I can and I will. I don't mind doing a polygraph or 3 or 5 on live TV, and I'll pass all of them because it's the truth. This industry is something else. It's wonderful, and we get to chase our dreams, and we get to live other lives. I get to be a judge or an FBI agent. I get to be a girl dad. And some of the people that you think are your mentors are literally and figuratively just trying to fuck you. I have documentation from the dealership for the car that they tried to buy as an apology for offering me $100,000 a strip. It's time.
So again, the car. I wanted to bring that up because don't forget in the lawsuit with Derek Dixon, he said Tyler Perry didn't really like his Jeep, so he bought him a new car. So buying cars is, what Tyler Perry liked to do, buy him cars to apologize or say like, "Hey, you need a new car, let me get you a car." Who do we know who just be giving people cars? Well, there's one person, but I talked about them earlier on my backup channel. But what random person just be giving people cars just because? You know what I mean? All right, let's continue before I get in trouble.
I really want to just clear the air because I'm tired. And then where I'm at now, if it still feels like that person is fucking with you just to fuck with you, just to mess with you.
I would.
The industry can be wonderful. I'm grateful. Be clear that this person showed me how not to be. When I'm a boss, people get daps and church hugs. The attractive women that work on even on my shows, my productions, they getting daps and church hugs. That's it. Because this person showed me how.
Who wedding did he pay for? I didn't hear about that. Let me say this. Tyler Perry gives a lot. This is also kind of like why it's hard, because I know we make jokes about Tyler Perry all the time. We call him auntie and all this other stuff, right? But Tyler Perry does give a lot, and he showed people, the utmost respect. And still at the same time, he can still be predatory. He can still be trying to hit on these men and trying to make them do things. We have to give both sides, right? But it just sucks because we see Tyler Perry as a humanitarian, and we know that with his actors, his production, he pays his people, where, a lot of actors, especially because he caters to Black actors, they always say like, this is the most money I've ever made on a show or on a movie. He's paid me my worth. You've heard these things before. So with that being said, it kind of hurts because it's all like, damn, that's somebody who's going to be taken out of here, because if all of this is true, Tyler Perry's up out of here. Like, ain't nobody going to be wanting to work with him. And I think it's a bigger conversation because, again, I feel like this whole thing was not just this Christian part, but I'm talking about the lawsuit. Going back to the lawsuit, I feel like the lawsuit was just to basically out Tyler Perry. And so this guy, Derek Dixon, he was upset about his TV show not coming out. And so he was all like, what I'm going to do is go ahead and out Tyler Perry, because if I out him, maybe he'll settle before he gets outed. But now I'm just going to out him. That's how I feel.
How not to be when I'm in charge and when I built something and when I created something. I hear you, Pernell. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to dial it back. You get on my nerves because I know you're right, but it's in my fucking bone marrow, and I'm tired of this person gallivanting around doing these PR stunts. Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do that. Well, then speak on if you gonna have. We're gonna have a conversation, y'all, really soon.
He's really dramatic. I just realized that.
Really soon. And I thank God that he made me the way that I am, because I know he sat back and watched, like, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to acquiesce and take this movie that's going to make 60, 70, 80 million dollars? Are you going to take this picture? Are you going to go to that late night audition, that late night table read?
When you said, was he ever in, you going to hell, G, you are going to hell. But notice right here where he's talking about all those late night table reads, and he's doing the quotations. Remember, Derek Dixon said that Tyler Perry would invite him to the house, to chill and whatnot, and they would talk about different things going on, and he would leverage like, oh yeah, we're gonna work on your show, and he kept doing that, or that's at least the way that Derek Dixon fell. So this kind of goes hand in hand with what Christian was saying.
No, you ain't built me like that. I'm beat, shot at, stomped out more than most of the people that are here on this live put together. P, I'm gonna call you in a minute. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going to air it out, but I'm so fucking close because I'm tired. I'm tired. And it needs to be told. And the bad part is I'm going to be.
Well, to answer your question, Melissa, that's a conversation that me and my family would have. And also, we wouldn't be dangling, oh, we got these secret recordings of you and not actually put anything out. If we're going to make a decision as a family, like, yo, we're going after this person because they did X, Y, and Z to you, we're going to make sure that we do that to the fullest extent. We're not going to play games with you and then quietly try to get us a settlement. So I believe that's two different scenarios, but thank you for asking. All right, let's continue.
I'm going to be painted as the villain when I was the one that was sexually harassed for years, bullied, intimidated, and sexually harassed for years. And I'm going to be painted as the villain because y'all have deified this person. And then if a person tells you over and over, first of all, in general, you have no right to touch anybody. None. Now, that's why I'm careful. Like when I do my shows and everything, it says church hugs. I put the veils on and I kiss people on the hair up here. Nothing sexual, nothing weird, nothing crazy. And I'm trusting that, the fans will receive that out of a place of love and connection. But you are not allowed to touch somebody without their permission. Not allowed to try to touch them in a sexual or private place without their permission. And if they've already declared like, hey, bruh, I get that that's your thing, but I like black women and Hennessy. And so miss me with the bullshit because I'm never going to be open to that.
Black women.
I'm never going to swing at that pitch. Like I'm batting for this team over here. God made ovaries and fallopian tubes and vagina, labia majora, labia minora, uterus. It's just wonderful over here. So I'm gonna stay over here, like chill. And then this person still tries to grab you, physically grab you. Cassie speaking out has reminded me about not just me, because it was brutal going through it because it lasted for years. But her speaking out, people need to know. And the funny thing is, predators like that, they resent the prey that got away. They resent the prey that got away, the prey that didn't fold, the prey that didn't acquiesce and say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take this L and sacrifice my morals for this opportunity. Nah. That was around the time that I was considering going back to Michigan, 08, 09, because work was slow and the work that was coming was offered with a side of penis. And yeah, that don't do nothing for me. I'm back for y'all team. So at some point soon, I've spoken with my attorney trying to figure out how to deal with it. It's never been about money. I literally intentionally let the statute of limitations pass. It's not about money.
He said it again.
But at some point, really soon, the police report is going to be filed, and I'll turn over the recordings of the inappropriate behaviors and the inappropriate offers, and I'll turn over the paperwork for the car that was bought as an apology for offering me $100,000 to take my clothes off. And y'all can hear him. His voice is.
So here's my thing. If he waited for the statutes of limitation to run out, it wasn't about money or anything. Why didn't he proceed to just expose the situation? Or listen, he don't even have to expose it. He could have just filed the police report, and then TMZ and somebody would have found that police report and been able to look up like, oh, this is who he's talking about. Like, because he got on this grandstand that he wanted to do this to prevent this from ever happening again, as far as Tyler Perry allegedly taking advantage of people. But what was it really all about then if you did not continue or you didn't press the issue? Now, here's the thing. there could be a conversation for, okay, well, he had to deal with this privately and maybe he regretted speaking out about it. But there's no way, because don't forget, it's not that he just put this IG live, right? He transferred the IG live and then put it on his YouTube channel. He deleted both, right? This is on somebody else's channel, by the way. But he took the video from IG and uploaded it on his YouTube channel. He wanted this to be seen. And mind you, he left that video up for at least, like, I want to say until January. January is when we heard rumblings like, okay, he must have got a settlement or something, because he took the video down. And then he never spoke on it again. And then when people would question him about it, he just ignored it or never minded, like it didn't go down. Like he didn't do this whole video. It was just kind of like, oh, well, just forget it, you know.
Very distinctive. And I want to empty. I'm tired of carrying this shit. There's a reason now why I fight more than ever when somebody wrongs me, and why I almost too aggressively speak up is because I wasn't brave enough to then. And I regret not being able to be strong enough, and I resent that part of me that wasn't strong enough to speak up about it. It's taking everything in me not to air out everything and put all the recordings online, put all the paperwork and PDFs online. There's no reason that this person's company would be on the bill of sale for a vehicle unless it's right after the timestamped recording of him offering me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, I don't have to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Like, you know, I'm not into that. I don't fuck around like that. I don't do that. What the fuck? What? Leave. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
But then I have to ask this question. If this person, if you know how this person get down, right? Why did you invite them to your home? Like, I just can't imagine that this person, allegedly Tyler, would have just showed up to his house just randomly, like, hey, I'll give you $100,000 and you just take off your clothes. Like, I feel like, because there have been rumors or allegations about Christian Keys allegedly being his boy toy, and then when he stopped getting money, then that's when everything fell awry. And, you know, these are just the things, assumptions, right? So let me just say allegedly. Let's keep going.
Get out. I thought you were my brother and my friend. And this definitely has nothing to do with my brother who's in here. Be clear. I thought this person was a brother type figure, a mentor type figure. But for you to continuously throw these opportunities, you know good and damn well, all it ever was you pretending to be a mentor trying to get some ass. That'll never happen. I don't bat for that team. Yeah, but I gotta get off of here and talk to my brother, because I'm
something else that I noticed too is that he keeps trying to remind us that he's not gay. He like women, he like fallopian tubes, he like, you know, the pretty pink flower. That's what he likes. All right, let's continue.
so fucking close to just airing everything out and just dumping everything online in the morning. I'm tired, man. I'm not forgiving myself. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't brave enough back then because somebody said, forgive yourself. KG, it's heavy on my heart, man. And I'm tired. And we around here deifying people that go out and do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna pay off this, and I'm gonna pay off that, and I'm gonna pay off that. But at the same time, these same people are predators. I'm not blaming myself for saying no. I'm not blaming myself for almost quitting acting. I'm just mad at me for not being brave enough to say something sooner. That's the only thing that I regret. I wish I'd have been brave enough. I'm him now. I know who I am. I know who God built me to be. And I'm not afraid of those consequences. My concern is that a lot of y'all are going to be like, man. And your immediate reaction is going to be like, oh, well, we got to protect our deity. We got to protect It's going to have to happen. I'm interested to see which peers are mad at me because it may interfere with their work. But yeah,
you
get
wrong.
a grown-ass man that knows that you're heterosexual and you're sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room because he says it's safe.
No lie, I would do it for $500 because I just looked at my account. I'm negative like $33 somehow, so I got to transfer some money over. But yeah, I would do it for $500. I ain't gonna lie. But I want to say to this real quick, right here. So he's talking about how he was having some Hennessy, and he's gonna talk about how he was over at Tyler's house and shit like that. So pay attention because this kind of resembles what homeboy Derek Dixon was saying in his lawsuit, how he got drunk and all this, right?
Because I know I'm bent, so I'm after a big party. Won't say what type, won't say where. I'm asleep. I'm gone because I'm 4-5 Hennessy's deep and not short Hennessy's either. And this dude tries to climb into bed with you. So you spaz out, push him out, like, what the fuck? Get ready to leave. He apologizes, blame it on the alcohol. And you try to forgive him. So you're like, all right, man. All right, I'm gone. You shake his hand on the way out, and he tries to grab your penis. He tries to shake and grab your equipment. And you spaz even more. Like, what the fuck you doing, man? What the fuck? Oh, my bad. So you go to leave. He tries to do it again. Now, at that point, my only regret is not breaking multiple bones in this person's face. Like beating the dog shit out of this person, right? Because that's available to me at all times. That inner grizzly bear is always available, but in the moment, I'm like, what the fuck? But you got a guy that's a billionaire, and I got $3 grand in my bank account. Who are you gonna believe? Right? I got that $3 grand. That's my son's mom's rent for next month. Gotta make sure little man's taken care of. That's my rent, and that's a little bit for the gas tank, and the rest of it, I can go to the dollar store and get some bread and bologna and hot dogs and mustard.
Real quick, we're going to have a conversation a different day, but I want to let you guys know these actors, they don't really have all the money that you think they have. They're honestly just like me and you. I believe, remember the actor strike? Only 80% of 80% of actors don't have health care. They don't make enough to even get health care. 80% of them. I think it's actually like 83 or 86 or something like that. But 80% of them don't even get health care. So these actors are all broke. They're not rich like you guys think they are.
And, I can get by. Work was slow. And a lot of the work that was coming it had penis attached to it. I'm like, fuck that, man. That's not what I want. That's not what I'm about to do. I regret not speaking up then, not being brave enough to, and I regret not hurting this person. Because I got a big heart. Mother had a big heart. Mother's heart was just big as Flint, Michigan. She was like a little yellow boy. You're gonna come and you're gonna be a part of my family. And I always try to think about things, and not lash out.
I knew you was a freak VSOP.
I'm mad at me for not hitting him. I'm mad at me for not speaking up and saying something. Because between that year.
And listen, VSOP, because we're not going to play you. I've done things for money as well. And, listen, whatever you chose to do back in your younger years, that's what you chose to do. Not judging here. But again, I've done things for money. I ain't going to leave you out here by yourself. I ain't going to do that to you, my people. I've done things for money too as well.
Here and now, how many young Black actors have fell for that? How many of them? And you can hear him say it you can hear him on the conversations. You can hear him on the conversations.
You're right, Tanya.
You can hear him say that he has several guys, multiple guys on payroll, 6 figures a year, that pop up and they do whatever he wants and they go back home. So they pop in, they grab their ankles, they do whatever he wants. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm not doing that. I don't want to make it that bad. I want to be able to shave in the fucking morning without any grief or any regret or any shame waiting for me in the mirror.
Right, addicted.
There's a trauma that comes with being bullied and intimidated and sexually harassed like that. And the bad part is when the truth comes out, a lot of y'all in here are gonna be like, man, I don't believe it. And you can watch me on whatever news station. I'll take polygraphs.
We listen and we don't judge.
You can hear the recordings yourself. Person has a very distinctive voice when they offer me $100,000 to take my clothes off. Person has a very distinctive voice when they literally sexually assault me and try to grab my private parts, and I'm blocking their hand like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh, my bad, and tries to do it again. Some of these people are y'all heroes. Some of these people y'all have deified and set up on a stoop. It's taking everything in me not to say. But I promise you this. I will promise you this.
Cha-ching.
As an executive on the show, I'm grateful for this person for showing me how not to be.
Now, that was another clue right there, because he says, as an executive on the show, I'm grateful because this person showed me how not to be. Tyler Perry is also an executive on that show. The what is it called, y'all? The Queen's Men? I still ain't watched it. So yeah, even with this video, it didn't make me watch the show. But all the Queen's Men, like that's a Tyler Perry production, but Christian Keys was the one that created the show. But it's filmed at Tyler Perry's studio, and allegedly Tyler Perry is not there doing the filming. That was one of the agreements that they had. But Tyler Perry is an executive on the show. So keep that in mind.
When you're the boss, how not to be. You don't sexually harass your employees. You don't pressure them, bully them, try to intimidate them into what you want.
No.
I am grateful for that lesson. I'm glad that God sat back, because not only was he watching to see if I was the person that he thought he had made, but he was letting me see who I am. And I'm grateful for it, because it let me know, and that gave me a lot of my bravery. I thank God that he just sat back and watched. It's going to be a conversation really soon. And it won't be a conversation or accusations. Again, I let the statute of limitations run out. It's never been about money. My concern is that this person is still doing it. Still a predator. And it's not okay. And I wish I was brave enough to speak up back then.
Now, to be fair, he doesn't give a timeline of the events, but he's consistently talking about multiple different times he's been around this person and this person has tried things on him. And I still ask the question, and call it victim shaming. Go ahead. I'm fine with that. But why are you consistently around this person? Just like when we were reading the lawsuit last night, Derek Dixon was continuously around this person, not just on production. You know, it's one thing you're filming, okay, you kind of have to be, right? But you would go to his house. You even went on the Bahamas trip because you're all like, oh, well, the whole cast is going to be there. I'm saying, like, I would have been like, I'm cool. Like, I'm not going to go to somebody's house. I'm not going to go to their island. Mind you, he said Tyler Perry's private island. I didn't even know Tyler Perry had a private island. I'm not going anywhere private with you, privately in your home, privately on your island. I'm not going private nowhere with you. That's just how I feel.
I was worried that he would get in the way and try to interfere with my work and try to blackball me because he couldn't ball me. Pun intended.
Hey,
It's
Nadi,
gonna be a
everybody say
conversation
happy birthday to
real
Nadi.
soon.
She went to the, let me not call her.
The beauty of non-disclosure agreements is that even if you do sign them, you can't speak about certain things, but confidentiality agreements don't, after speaking with several attorneys, they do not prohibit you. They can't prevent you from going to police departments and reporting sexual harassment and giving them your receipts, giving them your recordings, giving them your PDFs. And
You a trip
they
addicted.
don't
I
prevent
love
you
it
from
though.
reporting felonies. Sexual harassment is a felony. If you tell a person, if you tell a whole grown man, like, hey, I ain't into dudes, yeah, y'all shut the fuck up. You tell a grown man, I'm not into guys. He tries to grab your private parts, not once but twice. After,
because I don't remember that part when he talking to the guys on the motorcycle saying, "Hey, shut the fuck up." I don't remember that when I first watched this. That is hilarious. Yeah, when people said he was drunk, I do think he was a little tipsy. I ain't gonna lie.
trying to climb into bed with you.
Climb in bed
That
with
is
you.
the legal definition of sexual assault. So, yeah. And no, I didn't see that documentary. Yeah, NDA and confidentiality agreement do not cover crimes, and they don't prevent you from taking all your evidence to the police. And then there's a public record. So at some point really soon, this is this conversation is gonna have to happen because it's fucking with me.
Cuda Brown, right?
It's bothering me, and it needs to happen. Y'all gonna be disappointed in who it is because y'all been fooled for years. But
there's something to say about this, and that's why I mentioned that, how he say I like fallopian tubes and all this stuff, right? Because when you're comfortable with your sexuality, you don't give a damn. But when you're younger and people are questioning you, you feel like, and mind you, Christian is in his 40s. He's not young like that. You feel like you have something to prove and you got to clarify every time. When you get comfortable with yourself, and especially through YouTube, what I learned, AT2 is a sexy motherfucker, and no matter what, you still gonna want to fuck me. So I don't care to defend or clarify or anything. Just make sure you got my 100K and you can fuck. All right, let's continue. Any questions? No questions. All right, thank you. All right. Thank you, Nadi. No, it's your birthday. Thank you. I appreciate that.
it's gonna have to happen.
Did I really just say that? I did say
yeah, exactly.
that, huh?
You said it. No means no. If I got multiple friends in the industry that are LGBTQ+. I've had drinks with a castmate and his boyfriend. I don't give a fuck who they sleeping with. I don't give a flying fuck at a Rolling Donut who these people are sleeping with. How do you treat me as a human being? That's what matters to me. That'll be the only thing that affects how I treat you. If you're respectful of my boundaries, then I can have a drink with you and your girlfriend or you and your boyfriend. I don't care. I don't have heaven to send you to when you leave here. That's God's job to judge you. But what we not gonna do, yeah, we're not gonna try to force. Nah, man. It's taking everything in me not to air that out. Everything. I've been carrying this with me for a decade and a half. More. I'm gonna get off of that subject. It's gonna be addressed, and it's gonna be addressed soon. And if anybody has a problem with me telling the truth about predators in this industry, then they are truly part of the problem. And I'll say that out front. So that way, when certain people who are worried about their work
That is funny.
that are tied to this person or whatever, it's because they're selfish and
Shout
they're
out to
worried about work.
Stacy.
You can't treat people like that. And when I'm the boss, when I'm CEO, when I can make any TV show and film that I want, people are going to be able to come work with me and know that they don't have to worry about bullshit. They don't have to worry about opportunities being tied to sexual favors. They don't have to worry about being sexually harassed and intimidated and bullied because they didn't acquiesce to the sexual harassment or the attempted sexual assault or any of that. They're going to be able to show up and work and create amazing and great stuff without that. I was on a show.
Now, I want to...
And if I had done what this actress did.
I want to say this. I think also where Tyler Perry messes up is that he's having conversations with these people, just like the guy, Derek Dixon. He's having conversations with these people that he shouldn't have. He should definitely keep it professional. This is a business relationship. He should talk to his millionaire, billionaire friends. He should not be talking to broke people. He should not be talking to people like me and you. He should only be talking to people that are in his tax bracket because they are willing to keep the secrets and keep their mouth shut. And then there's no confusion. Anybody who works for Tyler Perry should not be his friend. This is what happens when you try to be friends with people. It just goes to shit. So this is a learning lesson for Tyler Perry. Do not be having these kind of conversations because why do we know thick Derek? Now he could just be saying, oh, you're getting a little thick, you know, he's getting pudgy or like fatter, like, oh, thick Derek. But when we had seen thick Derek, we're all like, thick Derek, like, why are you calling that man thick? And you put yourself in compromising situations. That's what I'm trying to say, you guys. This is why you don't see any leaked DMs from AT2, because as soon as it start getting freaky, I'll be like, oh, thank you, have a nice day. I just ignore it.
Just switching lanes. If I had done what she did, I'd never work again and I'd be in jail. She used to come up and pat me on the jump, like pat my penis, like, oh, okay, I see that print. And I checked her. I grabbed her hand right away, checked her, like, what the fuck are you doing? That ain't okay. I'll do that shit. I'm going to jail.
Oprah said that?
What are you doing? She did it again. Grabbed her hand. I'm like, stop. That shit ain't funny. We're preparing for a scene. She walks past, cups my equipment, and it's like, oh, you got some girth. When I tell you, had that been a dude, I'd have punched them in their motherfucking mouth. If I behaved like this woman, this particular actress had done, in that moment, I'd be in jail, I'd be canceled, and I would never fucking work again. You don't get to walk past somebody and be like, oh, that's nice, and pat them on their fucking private. What I get to call my job is a blessing, and I love it, and I'm grateful to God.
I think I know yesterday because I was reading the chat from yesterday, I made a couple of people upset when I said this, but I think not just that it's accessible for people who, you know, who has less money, but I think for some of these men, it's kind of like I'm attracted to the straight guy or perceived straight guy, one that I can get to bend to me because it's like a power play and all that stuff. And I think there's something to be said, like they look for these kind of men because they're attracted to that masculinity. And, you know, they don't want, because it's all like, okay, if this is how you want to get down, just get somebody who is gay. Like, don't try to get the straight guy and then convert. But it's like a power move and a power struggle, you know? But yeah, let's continue.
God about it. Nah, it absolutely wasn't Cheryl Pepsi Riley. Please don't do that. That's my heart. I love her to the moon and back. She's a consummate professional. It was another project. It was a TV and film project, and she felt entitled to do that bullshit.
Ding, ding, ding.
Now,
right, V.
Had I said something, and she was higher than me on the call sheet, they would have just wrote me out. I'd have died. I told you, Miguel. They'd have wrote my character out and killed him off or whatever. And you're like, okay, boom, this is a series regular. I'm 1, 2, 3 on the call sheet. But that's not okay.
And I am a psychologist, yes.
Y'all wonder why I stay in my fucking dressing room while we on set. Because it's bullshit out there. And it's people that don't appreciate and aren't there to honor the opportunity that we have. They're just doing whatever they want to, whatever they feel entitled to. Imagine a man walking past a woman saying, I see that print poking through. I'm going to jail that very day. But she can do it and continue to work in this industry. And if I report her to the female executives that were on that particular show, it's going to get swept under the rug because they had already told me, just Christian, just stand here and be pretty. Just stand here and look pretty.
Now, I think Christian has like light skin syndrome. Don't come at me. But because he's the quote unquote light skinned pretty boy, he wants to be taken serious. And unfortunately, nobody takes him serious. And I think he's dealing with that internally as well, too. Let's continue. Shout out to all the light skins out there.
While I'm asking about certain things in the scene so I can make it make sense to me intellectually, just stand there and be pretty. So, of course, I can't trust.
Somebody try to call him. That's
Pete, give me a minute. Chill out. I'm venting. Of course, I can't trust them. Stand there and be pretty. That's that bullshit that men told women.
What's up, Ricky?
So why the entire fuck is that okay for you to say that to me when I'm asking you the history of a particular scene so I can make it make sense to me honestly here? So that way when the words exit my spirit, it's honest. A few people calling me right now because they're probably seeing this and they're wondering if I'm actually going to tip the can over, and I want to. I fucking want to so bad because I'm tired of carrying it. I'm tired of.
Listen, it gets interrupted a few more times. I want to let you guys know because they were trying to get him to shut this shit down. Like, don't do this. Do not do it. And it seemed like he was going to tell us, but he told us in oh so many words who it was, right?
Carrying and having to deal with the bully and the harassment. Years. Not 1, not 2, not 3, more. Years of sexual harassment and attempted sexual assault. And I want to air that shit out so bad.
You're right about that continuously evolving.
I'm having a night, clearly.
Women, I will say that, here we go with the gender thing. I will say women tend to be handsy and hands-on, but they get excused because it's all like, okay, well, you're a man, you can definitely defend yourself. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or whatnot, but it does happen. It does. And that's not okay, right? I kind of contradicted myself when I said it's not right or wrong, but that's not okay. It doesn't matter the gender. It's not okay for anybody to touch you or unwantedly touching you. It's not okay at all. But I have been in that situation. But thank you for sharing. I appreciate your honesty.
Pretty boys deserve the same respect as the block button. Go fuck yourself. I'm a grown ass man. I'm 48. I'm not a pretty boy.
Oh, he's 50 now. This was a couple.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Okay, some people can hear me. Can you? Good. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, and if you know me, then you know I'm a grown man. Don't call me pretty boy. That's some bullshit. So yeah, I needed to vent and get some of this out of my system because there's a vitriol that you carry.
And I told y'all he got that beige rage. As soon as somebody called him a pretty boy, he got offended. Told you.
When you deal with this, and there's a trauma that comes with it because you never know. Like, okay, is this meeting legit? Or Is this some bullshit? Is this another one of those meetings?
Continuously evolving. Okay, I thought you were talking about in adulthood. You're talking about when you were. I'm definitely sorry that happened. As you guys know, I've shared things with you guys, and yeah, that's not okay at all. Definitely not. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about like. I just figured you were talking about in the workplace. I didn't know until you clarified what you were talking about. I'm definitely sorry that happened to you.
Where you meet with a black billionaire businessman, and while my manager was there, everything is everything.
I know. I feel bad too. Damn, why you take it so seriously? Shit. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking with y'all. But no, thank you for being honest and sharing that. I appreciate that.
You know, I got my Kinko's presentation with the plastic cover on it. I pay good money on this. Good money. I'm running it down like you can invest in this, that, and the other. So as my manager leaves, he moves into a conference room, and I'm like, okay, it's a conference room. Nothing sketchy about this. Didn't realize that the doors on the side of the conference room right there led into his suite. So about 8 or 10 minutes, I'm nervous. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What is, okay, you changing? You got to use the bathrooms. And number 2, cool. He comes back in silk pajamas, silk robe, right as they're delivering strawberries and champagne like this is Pretty Woman or a fucking date. Now, I'm like, wait, whoa, this ain't that. I'm not him, and this ain't that. I'd love for you to invest in my company. He probably should have, because he would own a piece of all the Queensman, the books I've already sold, the 6 or 8 books I'm about to release, all of that. He would have had a piece of all of that monetarily, but he didn't. He was thinking with his dick. And yeah, he came back in, grabbed a strawberry, sat down, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. You got my presentation, I'm going. He's like, are you sure? I said, yeah. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. He's like, are you sure? That second, are you sure, means if you don't stay and do what I want, you're not going to get what you're hoping for. Now, this particular guy is out here paying tuition for entire classes of HBCUs after this sketchy shit. Want to air him out too. I'm just tired of carrying this bullshit with me.
See, and this is why we thought about the financial guy, the guy who's a billionaire in finances, because we know that he paid, I think it was Morehouse or something like that. He paid for all of their tuition or something. So this is why we thought him. So it was kind of confusing us who he was talking about. But he did say it was like multiple. So it could be a couple of different people.
I'm tired. There are wolves in the hen house. And yeah, it's disappointing because you're like, okay, well, I want to learn from this person, or I want to learn from this person, or maybe partner with this person over here because he's investing in black companies, not knowing that he's a predator. And this person who's supposed to be your mentor is the worst predator of all. It's got to come out at some point. So you carry shit and it gets heavy. I'm going to call my brother back. I'm so fucking close to tipping
Robert
the glass over.
Smith is the guy that I
keep roll wherever they go, because I'm tired of carrying it. And it would be easier to just file that police report, name that person for attempted sexual assault, name that person for sexual harassment for years, turn over the evidence, and then let the world hear him offer me $100,000 to take my clothes off. Thank God he made me the way I am. And I could say, no, I was broke as fuck. And I tell you, I would have loved that $100,000. I wasn't finna sell my soul. Oh, wow. Warriors. You talking about the basketball game? Let me go ahead and get you this block button. You can fight with that, Warrior. I'm gonna log off before I spill this shit, man, and fuck up y'all year. Fuck up 2024. Because if you think that Diddy shit was crazy, you don't even know. I'm gonna get up on out of here.
Not Medea.
But this conversation is gonna happen. I'm gonna head down there. I've already been down to I stopped in the parking lot once, and the other time I made it into the lobby.
This is what he claimed
to file it. and my computer with me and all the recordings. Like I said, when sexual harassment started, I carried a keychain. I carried multiple pens. Sometimes they only lasted 3 or 4 hours. Sometimes you had to put like a AAA battery in them. But you can hear these offers from the person who made the offer. And I suggest that too. That's why I'm cautious too when people email my manager or my booking agent or whoever, like, hey, I want Christian to be my mentor. I'm afraid to mentor anybody. On set, if we're working on a project together, or you're working on a project I created, ask me what you want to ask me. But individually, separately, I'm afraid because of the bullshit that I had to deal with. And you got these predators still running around, still fucking over people, still screwing people over. And
okay, all right, I'm tired of Christian now. All right, so you guys, again, I know some of you guys are late because y'all are like, oh, how come we're watching this? Isn't this old? Yes, it is old. That's why you need to be here on time. But the reason why we were watching it was because we wanted to compare and contrast what the lawsuit says for Derek Dixon versus what Christian Keys was saying. Because remember, Christian talked about how he was drunk that one night, got in bed, and then Tyler Perry got in bed with him. And then you hear the story from Derek Dixon where he said he got in bed as Tyler Perry got in bed with him. But this is where he says like Tyler Perry was, rubbing his buttocks and he couldn't move. He was frozen and he got anxiety. He became nauseous and stuff like that. Now, Christian doesn't say he told him to knock it off or stop it, with Derek Dixon, it was more of, oh, well, he changed the subject, so Tyler Perry stopped, so it was a little different. And then also too, Christian said he recorded some things. All we had with Derek is text messages. And again, the text messages for me, they were suspicious. What's up, Denitria? They were suspicious, but they didn't exactly say like, oh, I want to F you. Oh, yeah, I want to see you naked. They were questionable. But again, guys talk. And if they had a situationship where they were really flirtatious with each other, then yeah, you're going to say some inappropriate shit. Like I said, honestly, I feel like this was a situation, not with Christian, probably with Christian though, but it was a situation where Derek Dixon was cool until his show didn't get picked up. Probably nobody wanted Derek's show because it sucked. It probably sucked. Nobody wanted it. And like I said, because Tyler Perry is typecast, it was probably hard for him to sell a show, a white show or a show with a white lead. It was probably hard for him to sell that to anybody because they're all like, we don't know you for that, We don't know you for that. So how are we going to be able to really promote this? Nobody's used to having Tyler Perry, produce a white TV show or a white movie. And remember, he couldn't even start selling the show until 2 years later because he was trapped in a contract with Viacom CBS, remember? So he couldn't even sell the show was shelved and couldn't be shopped until 2 years later. So we got to take that into consideration. And it's so crazy because we always be dragging the white women, right? But it's also the white men who look for opportunities. Because remember, we were dragging Gabby with Shannon Sharp. We need to drag Derek, looking for an opportunity. When in doubt, bet on black. Now, am I saying that black people keep their mouth shut and they don't do that? No. That's not what I'm saying, essentially. But we never knew who Derek Dixon was. Some of y'all did watch The Oval. I seen a few of y'all say, yeah, I watched The Oval. I knew it. I knew of him, right? But the average person don't know who Derek Dixon is. I'm sorry. Now we know who he is, but we never knew who he was before. And so this seems like a situation. Oh, I'm upset because my TV show didn't come out. And now that my TV show didn't come out, I want retribution. Tyler Perry did X, Y, and Z to me now that my TV show, because let's be honest, if his TV show came out, would he had said anything? I don't think so. I think he would have kept his mouth shut. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because one thing I want to say is that they never, even though it's not a crime for him being gay, but it never said what Derek's sexual preference was. And that's why I was more or less thinking like, okay, they probably had like some kind of relationship. Now, do I think something might have went down? It might have got a little flirtation. Yeah, I do think something went down. But can I say that Tyler Perry did anything illegal or anything? Like, I believe that Tyler Perry, if he was guilty, he would have settled like he did with Christian Keys. He would have settled. But again, I go back to Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, you need to deal with people in your own tax bracket, and you need to stop trying to find all these men that you find attractive and just giving them, opportunities to act on your show because they got muscles or they look good, or you know what I mean? He has a certain type. If you go through all the men that have been on Tyler Perry shows, they all look alike. This one was a random one because remember, I'd never seen like a white dude. He's had white people on his show, don't get me wrong, but I didn't know white was his type. I thought light skin was his type, which I guess that is light skin, huh? But y'all get what the hell I'm saying. Okay, you think both are his type. Okay. Exactly, makes sense if he put up with all that. Yeah, because mind you, he put up with it since 2019 all the way to 2024. And then 2025, and then that's when he left the show. He left the show on his own will. He didn't, and they said the only way he would get paid was if he did medical leave, but he chose just to leave. Remember? And also too, I think because the guy said that he went through some kind of trauma, but Tyler Perry knew that he went through some kind of trauma before, like he was taken advantage of. I'm trying to say the word without saying the word, but he was taken advantage of, right? Tyler Perry knew that, shared his own experience with him, and then he was talking about his therapy and shit like that. So it seemed like Tyler Perry was trying to encourage him because he knew that mentally, he's been through a lot and was trying to encourage him. That's also what I seen too. Now, could Tyler Perry have been using that in order to get close to the guy by talking about his past trauma and therapy and trying to, the grooming thing? Could that be a thing? Obviously, it could. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that could be a thing. But also, he could have been trying to help him because we know that Tyler Perry was, I'm going to say the word one time, was molested too. So with that being said, he could have been trying to help him. Oh, thank you, Parks. I appreciate that. Thank you. Stephanie, did I read your super chat? I'm sorry. I just seen that right now. I was about to say I'll take in my post lesson. Right. Shit, I'm taking them off for free. That's the problem. Anyway, back to what I was saying. But Tyler Perry could have been trying to relate to him because he's been through his own past trauma. And hey, that could have been something that they bonded over, and that's what got them close with each other. We never know, but I know Tyler Perry's lawyer basically denied the allegations, but I'm wondering what they're going to file back, if anything. because definitely this isn't something that's going to go away. I feel that other people are going to look at this and be like, okay, let me go ahead and try to make my moment. Let me try to make my moment. So we'll never know. We've only known of 2, and then I know shout out to Storm. He did that story about Lance Gross, that he tried it with Lance Gross, but that's the only time that I heard about it. I haven't heard about anybody else. Well, there was a lawsuit with a guy who locked himself in locked himself in Tyler Perry's studio, and he was having some mental breakdown. He said like him and Tyler Perry were in a relationship, but he was actually like a stalker. Remember that? I'll have to replay that video for you guys again. But I know if I replay that video, there's going to be somebody who's not going to like that I replayed it, because we'll do that another show. We'll do it another show. But I want to leave you guys with this. The title says Tyler Perry outed, but does he deserve the Predator title? And I ask that because people are already assuming that Tyler Perry did it, especially in light of everything that's going on now. They're assuming that, oh yeah, he is this, he's that, he's a part of the Illuminati, blah blah blah. But I still feel that we don't have enough proof to say that this man is a predator. We don't. That's how I feel. Questionable, yes, I will definitely give you that. But, it is what it is. AT2, I had to leave for a minute. Sorry. Did you answer my question about men reaction compared to women in these situations? No, I did not. Well, let's speak on it real quick. So I do think when men are in this situation, it's a psychological thing, and for women it is too, obviously, right? But for men, because I can only speak from a male perspective, when it happens to men, it's like, whether it's male or female, right? One, if it's a woman, they're going to say, why didn't you protect yourself? Or you're a man, you should be able to, you let this person overpower you, or da 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 da. Basically, you're going to be looked at as weak. Even when it comes to a man doing something to you, you're going to be looked as weak too, because they're going to automatically say, oh, well, you wanted it. You let you let another man touch you. You must be gay, da 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 da. And either way, you're effed if you say something, and you effed if you don't. If you don't, you're looked at as weak either way, whether it's a man or a woman that did it to you. And that can mess with you, if you're not comfortable within yourself, like, it does mess with you. And you got to think about there can be a power struggle too as well. If this is your boss or somebody who is superior to you, it'll be hard for you to say something, right? So I can definitely see it either way. Yeah. Hopefully I answered your question. Did I answer it? A set of diaries of a black woman. He should make diaries of a DL. But listen, I'm surprised he ain't already made that movie, Pink Butterflies. That would be perfect for Tyler Perry. That would be perfect. He need to write that. He already write a lot of stuff in his TV shows. Like I said, when I watched Beauty and Black, like, I was all like, oh, this is some freaky shit right here. A lot of freaky stuff that goes on. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get the hell up out of here. I appreciate y'all. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. I know I did. And again, we'll see what happens with this case, if anything. So yeah, be on the lookout for updates. All right, deuces, everybody. We out.